Okay, well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming out on this rainy evening. This is a meeting of the Drum Point Property Owners Association Board of Directors. The Robert's Rules of Order govern this meeting. Please do not speak until you are recognized by the chair, who this evening will be myself. Normally Gary Peel, our president, but tonight I am going to chair the meeting. And so with that, now that we have called the meeting to order, the next item on our agenda are the president's remarks, so I will give the floor to our president.
Yep, I don't have a whole lot. We had a little issue with some possible road damage that is being addressed. John will probably talk about it later. We have installed the markers for where necessary for to keep the snow plows out of the ditches. I don't know if you guys remember, not last year they dug up some of our stone out of our ditches because they got a little carried away.
So what are we doing?
So we put little markers.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
Road edge markers
Yeah.
in selected areas. And we're getting ready to put our equipment in for servicing. That would be the big mower and the other equipment we use, several small pieces of equipment, trimmers and so on. This will be the first year we've done that. Probably we've perhaps been remiss by not doing it in the past, because we end up having to send them in for repair during the season. But they'll go over all of the equipment, make sure everything's in good working order, and keep it for us and bring it back in the spring. And
You can small eggs as well? We'll want our chainsaw.
well, maybe we'll get the chainsaw back, but we have like 6 pieces of equipment.
So where is that?
They,
Who's they? Oh, the people we bought the mower from,
okay.
which is
Grand rental station.
Grand Rental Station down
Okay.
in Solomons. They have a really large repair and service facility there, and have the ability to come and pick it up and take it back. All that. That's all I have.
Okay. Any other comments or questions about that? Where does it go? Does it go back to Grand Rental Station? Is that where the stuff gets stored?
Well, they're going, the assumption I have was they're going to sort, maybe I'm wrong. But what they'll do is they'll winterize it, go over it and make sure all the maintenance is up to date and everything is in good working order. Sharpen the blades,
Oh, okay.
replace as needed, check for worn bearings and that sort of thing. But not just the big mower, which is the big piece, but also the line trimmers, the small mowers, trying to remember what all the blowers and the chainsaws and all of our small engine equipment.
Okay. I guess all the snow plowing stuff belongs to the contractors.
Yep, that we don't own that.
Okay. All right, so next on the agenda is the public comment period. And seeing that there is no public in attendance, public members in attendance, we'll assume that we don't have any comments. Next we have approval of the minutes. And we had the minutes distributed by email. And everyone had a chance to review them. Do I have
Move to approve as written.
we have a motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
And a second? All in favor? Aye. Oh, no, okay. Okay, so we have a motion to approve the minutes as distributed. Is there any discussion? All in favor, we have a motion, we have a second, we have no discussion, so now, all in favor of the motion to approve the minutes? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion passes. Okay. Boy, really, I'm just ripping right through this agenda. Okay. So now we have, next on the agenda is the office update. Rhea?
All right. You recall, I think during the last meeting, I mentioned that I'd spoken with the accountant who had instructed me on how to debit our accounts receivable to reduce it by the amount that we do not expect to receive. So I've done that, and the total was, so far is $14,926. And I wrote those amounts off only on undeveloped properties, because if there's a house and somebody's not making their payments, chances are at some point we'll collect that money, or it will go to foreclosure and I'll credit it that way. So I didn't remove that from accounts receivable, if that makes sense, only for undeveloped lots. And then I split that between the various, if you look on the balance sheet, the different accounts receivable for mandatory assessments, current mandatory assessments, prior covenants, and so on. So it's broken down, and you'll see that on the balance sheet. Continuing to file claims, that's about all I've been doing. And I will be serving one person by sheriff, because I know they live in the house, and they did not pick up their mail, so I know they are there, so they will be receiving it by sheriff. That's it.
So, Rhea, did you say, when you moved this amount, 14 and some thousand, to where are you calling it? It's,
Allowance for doubtful accounts, it's further down.
okay, there we go.
There you go, the
Yeah.
total there.
Did you say these are for the undeveloped lots, or everything but the undeveloped lots?
Oh, I only am debiting and taking away the undeveloped,
Okay,
the amounts for the undeveloped lots.
okay,
So many of these, are sitting in the middle of nowhere, they don't perk, there's not a road to them.
okay,
And that is not to say we won't continue to try to collect on these.
right,
At some point. And
okay,
it's difficult.
okay, okay. All right, and that's everything for the office
That's all.
update? Okay, now we have a roundtable of the board members, if anyone wants to raise anything. Paula, we'll get to your committee meeting comments later.
Nothing.
John?
I'll talk about it in the roads portion, I guess.
Okay, I don't have anything. Really, do you have anything?
I don't have
for
anything, yes.
roundtable?
He's still officially the chairman.
Oh, I have one thing I'll mention.
Go ahead.
Oh, is he still the
No, I just want to-
president? Yes, he is.
No.
It's been occurring.
Whatever you want. Now make it.
Well, maybe we can talk. Yeah, I am going to be moving out of the area, and as of middle of March.
Oh,
Yeah, so I just guess I want to let you know that, so that when you go to get around to the nominating committee, which is coming up, there will be a third spot, not just two.
Sorry to lose you.
oh, yeah.
And I'm moving out to be near my kids in the Seattle, Washington area. So
Won't you get plenty of this rain?
very much so.
This is practice.
Not moving for the environment. No. I've been out there 3 or 4 times in the last 4 months, and it has consistently rained the whole time.
Summers are beautiful.
Summers are probably nice.
So, yes, and I was there in August, and that's absolutely right. So 3 months of the year, I would be sitting outside, stopping up the rain.
And you have kids out there? Multiple?
Yeah, 2.
Okay.
I'm here, I bought a house. I'm here once a mile and a half this way, once a mile and a half that way.
Oh, very nice.
In the apex there, so
Very nice. Well, that sounds like a nice move for you.
it's
Probably just,
overwhelming.
I'm sure
Yeah,
it is,
that-
you just moved.
I just moved back into this house. I'm on the contract on
Oh.
that house.
Excellent.
And I did want to ask you about getting the bylaws and all that stuff they've asked. I don't know if they do that.
They can find them online, or they can call me for them, whatever you
Or
want.
you can let me have them and I'll bring them to them. They happen to be my daughter's daughter, who
Oh,
has
good.
become my friend.
Uh-huh.
Her daughter and her fiance.
Oh, very good.
So it all worked out really well. Okay.
Good. Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
huh. All right, I'm happy for you. That sounds like a nice move. Anyone else? I was gonna mention one thing.
Go ahead.
I just looked something I learned. I called Smico because somebody, maybe it was you, somebody told me that if the street light shines into your house and you don't like it, that Smico will come and put just a shade on that side so the light doesn't shine directly into your house so much. And so especially in the wintertime when the leaves are gone, there is this one street light out front. And I called Smeco and was told, after being put on hold for a few minutes or anything, I was told that Smeco doesn't do that anymore. So I thought I would just mention that to, I don't know if do we own those streetlights? They kept asking me, well, are those streetlights, do they belong to your homeowners association? I kind of played dumb, I didn't tell them who I was.
I guess
But-
technically we do kind of, I don't know.
Well, I knew we paid
We
them.
own it, we pay a monthly charge.
Yeah, anyway.
No, we don't, the county pays it.
Well, anyway, I just thought I'd
So you
mention.
can say the county owns it.
For now, for
But,
now.
but when lights go out, Smeco does come and service them.
The-
I
I
don't
don't have a feeling they own them, it's
I
just
think
a
they own
matter
them,
of
and you
that
just
we
pay.
operate them
Yeah.
or something.
Right.
Anyway, it sounds like something that I have a feeling they just decided not to do because of, for whatever reason, cost cutting. But I thought I'd just mention it in case, because I'm pretty sure it was somebody
It was
in the
probably me.
context of the,
Remember?
yeah.
They remember.
I think we talked about that, so anyway,
But
I
aren't
did learn
there,
that they don't do that anymore.
aren't there some people that have paid to have a light put by their house?
Yeah.
Would that be a different,
That's your lot then.
that's your light,
And
so
you-
they don't really, they wouldn't come for that either?
And I think in that case, doesn't the homeowner pay the electric bill too?
Right,
So then there's a certain number, and you probably know the exact number, how many lights, you
I think
do,
it's 83.
83. lights that, you know, we are supposed to pay the bill, although right now it's being covered by the county still.
It's 83 of them, yep.
yeah.
So, but those are two different things, but I don't know. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention it because,
Just get a bit of a ladder and paint it black.
That's right.
well, it's not a huge, it would just, it's not like it's just it would be a preference on my part to not, because it's sort of an ugly light, it shines right into, it's not a bedroom, it just shines into my living room,
Ugh,
that kind of ugly orange
annoying.
light.
Mhm.
yeah.
And
Oh,
so
it
I
is.
figured if they were willing to come out with, and put a shade on there,
Just plant some bigger trees.
Fast
there
growing.
are actually plenty of trees, they would need some more evergreens, so.
Right.
I don't know what happened to
What
it.
happens to that light? So that's it, that's my roundtable report. Okay, nothing else from the floor? All right, so we have committee reports, and Jeff is not here. Gary, did you want to say anything about the roads committee?
Well, everybody knows that we finished the, it's got my name on that,
That
doesn't
one's mine.
We finished the paving and the edging, and we did have a complaint, and I'm gonna turn that over to John, from, a complaint about some road damage for a road bond. And I'll let John talk.
Yeah, over on Bay Drive, where they installed a septic system on the other side of the road to connect to the property. It's on the Chesapeake side where I guess they had a system that didn't work anymore. So in the process of doing the work, it looks like the company that did the installation
Oh, the new
caused some,
septic, is that right?
it's a septic,
New septic, okay.
new septic installed on the inside. And the machinery must have driven over the road edge and into the swale multiple times, and each time crushed down on the pavement and cracked it for probably 15, 20 feet. So that's gonna have to be repaired somehow so that we don't have further damage down the road, or accelerated damage down the road. It'd probably be okay, but we should still hold them accountable for the damage.
So it's like the edge of the road, so the truck kind of caused it to,
Yeah, exactly.
Crack off the
exactly,
edge.
yeah. The crack's relatively narrow, but it's about that far in from the end of
About
the road.
6, 8 inches in from the edge of the road.
Right,
It's obvious cracks. I
right,
mean, it's-
right. And this, the same thing could happen if people drive their cars off the road. In fact, I've got the problem down by my house because of the snowplows, cutting the corner onto Bowie Way from Pilot, and all that corner's now cracked down from the,
We have the problem lots of places.
yeah.
That's why it's important to back up the edges
Mhm.
when we put new pavement down.
Paul?
So,
I wanted to ask a question on that, but go ahead, finish.
so we'll be having Jeff go out and take a look at it, figure out what it would cost to fix it, and we will have to hold the road bond, and even though the homeowner's not happy, we'll have to hold it until we can resolve that.
You have to hold the road, what's that?
road bond, okay, anytime we do work
They,
on properties that may involve machinery, the homeowner has to submit a road bond to us, only $2,500.
To the association?
Right, it's a check, they give us a check, we put it in the bank
escrow account.
and into an escrow, and that money's held until the end of the project, so that if we have damage, we can recoup it. If they don't pay it, we keep it. All right. We have road bonds, we have
And there's also a septic bond with this one,
septic bond
so
in
a
this
total of
case.
5,000.
Right, and we keep the septic bond, right?
No,
Which
no,
one do we keep?
There's a
Either-
third charge, and that's the purchase of
Oh,
the easement.
Okay,
Which
easement,
was
easement charge.
1,500 or so much
Okay.
per inch or
Okay.
something.
Right.
And that we keep.
The
It's
rest you
purchased in-
return if there's no
Yes.
damage or what, yeah.
So the,
Typically, that's what happens, you
Right.
give it back.
so like the road bond came about because they obviously must have applied for a permit to do,
Right, to do the work,
okay.
because they had to go under the road.
Mm.
Their septic line passes under the road from their property to their septic system.
Mhm.
I guess this is a legacy that we don't do anymore.
The county does.
The county used to allow for, you buy a property across the street, put your septic system on the other side of the road. And we have a number of properties
Right, yeah, next to me has.
in the area that have
Well,
them.
I can see where that would be a problem because,
So the problem is really comes when the damage like this from going with the heavy equipment. We also do road bonds for general construction. Somebody builds a house, put in a driveway, all of those things where, and it specifically, for instance, excludes, they can never use steel tracked equipment on a roadway. If they do, they automatically forfeit the bond, because that will do some heavy damage to our roadways.
okay.
So,
So that's in the process, they've got so we're holding the road bond. And
Right,
How
so-
was how does that get figured out?
well,
Yeah.
Jeff will go out and assess
Oh,
how much it will cost to fix it. We'll direct him to fix it. If he doesn't fix it, we'll deduct it from the road bond. Fix
He'll come back to the board for action.
okay, gotcha, okay.
All right.
You had something else for me
No.
before I go on?
He explained exactly what I was gonna
Ask him.
question, yeah,
And-
okay.
and-
All right, and we do have another, in fact, not too far from there, we just got in another road bond because, on, what's it, Bayview? No,
Bayview intersects with Bay.
but Bayview, we're building, we got a new property being built on.
Oh.
And so we have a road bond for that, it's right at the top of the highest point in Bayview. So they put it in so that we don't, they'll be putting a driveway in there, we don't want them to cause us drainage problems. But this one won't, because that's the top of the hill and the flow will go either direction from his property. If he causes himself some problems, that's not really our problem, but the driveway is in a good location for us.
Okay.
We have a new project that Jeff is working on. You were tied up with your mother at the time, on Mills Creek. I don't know, have you gone and looked at that?
Mills Creek.
At the corner, right at the turn on Mills Creek.
Oh. Carrie Gonzalez?
Your neighbor
Yeah, what
with
is
the
she?
septic across the street.
What the septic?
Is that her name,
across the
Carrie?
street? Carrie, yeah.
Her house, she complained about the water, she flowing across the road and into her yard. So we went and looked at it, and Jeff and I looked separately and together. We've been out there many times. Jeff is gonna work up a plan to help mitigate her issues. And you'll be bringing that to us. And I believe it's gonna involve work on both sides of the road on Mills Creek there. And it'll kind of, part of it will be, she put in her own drainage pipe or kind of sort of thing that was not very well designed. So, no, it's a drain pipe that drains across her
Well,
property.
her ex-husband was a builder and
Yeah,
we won't say any more than
they
that.
should have known better than that. But anyway, we're going to try to help her out with that. But the real, to be honest about it, one of the real things that prompted us to action, when we went out and looked, it stays wet right up against the edge of our road for long periods of time, and it's on the inside curve and tends to rut some. So on your property, or adjacent to your property. So that
Well, I
work
own the
will come.
lot, I own the lot between.
Yes,
Gary
and
and-
so that work will come up along the right-of-way adjacent to your lot as well.
Okay.
So, but it'll be in a right-of-way, of course. The
Where's
idea
the
being
right-
to,
Where's the right of way? Between.
well,
the
it's
lots?
50 feet wide and runs.
Oh, I see what you're saying, okay, all right, got you.
Yeah, right-of-way is not just the pavement.
Okay.
It's a 50-foot wide swath of property. So, and I think that's all we have in road work right now.
All right. Well, you all have been busy. I had no idea that all this work was going on. I commend you
It's easy.
for your
Something-
dedication.
Something that just is, well, I'm thinking about, it's not really roads, but maybe it's environment. We had this discussion, I had this discussion with my neighbor, that didn't really read all the rules on cutting of trees, okay? While we don't enforce making them come to us, they're supposed to go to the county to get a permit, especially in the critical zone, which is probably 3/4 of Drum Point, right?
Right.
So, when you look at the map, maybe we ought to put something in one of the upcoming newsletters in the spring, maybe. Yeah, that's fine.
More fun, this night, aren't they?
So, but we
Star Wars
should,
fan?
that's not Star Wars, that's Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's
It
right.
sounds like, I thought it was Star Wars,
But it is Indian.
I like it.
I do too.
So, anyway, and I can
So something in the newsletter that would,
just to let
Explain
people
the
know
rules.
that, you know, if you wanna cut trees on your property, that you're supposed to go
More
to the
than
county.
3 inches in diameter.
Well, that's great, our covenants, but the county, I know he's talking about county permit,
Yeah,
you know,
because we won't,
especially if you're on a slope or.
well, probably both should be. I mean, that's a great suggestion,
so.
because, you know, nobody's not born knowing this
Well, so a
stuff.
lot of people know it and just ignore it.
Well, that's true,
Well, if you
but
ignore it in the critical area, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
$1,000 fine just for ignoring.
I think you have to give a.
If you don't mind, I'll read the paragraph of the covenants.
Okay.
Okay.
It says, that no tree shall be cut and no excavations made, or no excavations shall be made on the premise except for the purpose of building thereon, and at the time when the building operations are commenced, and no earth or sand shall be removed from said premise except as part of such excavations. So it's not, it's kind of vague,
That's to try to avoid quarrying.
yeah.
That's written that
to
way.
avoid what?
Quarrying, because we have so much
quarrying.
sand,
Oh, quarrying.
so much sand in our area that.
Yeah, it's not
only
really
sand-
meant to say you can't cut trees.
Right,
It's, you can't clear the lot so you can quarry, exactly right. That's what they were up
It's kind
to.
of saying the only it says the only reason you can cut a tree is for building,
That's right.
as opposed to,
The county that says.
most people cut trees for,
The county's regulation is much more stringent than
Right.
this. So, yeah, we can, I bet Robin's got some stuff she could give us.
Don't you give out stuff about the critical?
Yes, it's in the welcome
It's in-
folder.
It's in the welcome folder, right?
do we have a process, separate question, for when people wanna cut trees, down trees now, that are out there in the,
Somebody else's property?
in our no man's land? You know, we have so much,
We don't have any no man's land. Somebody owns it all.
what are you talking about, cutting down trees for safety reasons?
well, an example, okay, if you look on the map, see the blue square that's right, next one up.
At the corner, where-
That one right there. Somebody was in there a week ago Saturday, cutting,
I saw it.
cutting up a tree.
Yeah, I
Down.
saw it. It had been blown over.
Yeah, it's a down tree, but do we have?
Well,
should we have-
this happens to be the club property.
Right, but was
So
it,
it could be
was
that
it
property.
somebody of the owner of the club that was in there, or just
I don't
some?
have permission, I don't know. I thought it was back over here further, which, this was our lot here.
Yeah, no, it was
This is
definitely in the
probably
first,
over.
it was definitely in the corner
Yeah,
Okay, the side of the road, so.
Actually, Ralph was telling me about this. There's one of the people at the club, has permission to go in and take down trees off of
Oh,
all
okay,
of his property.
okay, great, okay, as long as somebody does. Because it was obviously planned, they had a gator in there, they had,
The whole thing, huh?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
trailer, truck on the road, yeah.
It's kinda good to get the dead wood out.
Yeah, because of my
Mhm.
property, and clear it up.
All right. So that concludes our roads committee. Jack, do you have anything you'd like to report on for the finance committee?
Nothing to report.
Okay, no problem. Planning committee,
There's been no meetings and
Okay.
so nothing to report.
Peter's not here for safety committee, so.
Oh,
Paul-
he would,
Oh,
Peter asked me to,
Okay.
thanks for reminding me.
sorry.
Peter and I both worked on the tower the last couple of days. John inspected it.
The
Oh,
radio
from the
tower.
radio?
See, you know, the tower, it's a triangle tower with the antenna on it. And the idea is to mitigate some possible,
The attractive nuisance value of a
Right.
tower that kids could climb.
Oh,
Peter has installed plywood, so you can't climb it, 8 foot up off the ground, so you can't just walk up to it and start
Okay.
climbing it.
oh, okay.
I guess if you really, really wanna get up there, you could.
Just get a step ladder and go over
And
the.
that was the purpose for it, was because kids would.
Yeah, it's safe.
Mitigate the
It's really
liability.
safety. We had signs on it that said, don't climb it for electrical hazard, but, you know, signs are signs.
Yeah, it's to help mitigate the liability.
Okay,
Can't say we didn't try to keep you off.
okay, gotcha.
That's it.
All right. Paul, you wanna talk about your walk?
Yeah, just do this, I'll just give you a brief overview. I have sort of, not been that involved with this, and I just reviewed with Dennis and I met, and Teresa Chasak, I can't pronounce the last name, is supposed to be the other member of the committee, but I got no response from her when I sent out things, so.
I think she might be out of town.
Yeah, I don't know, I haven't really, but anyway, Dennis and I just reviewed with Dennis what the previous activity had been when I first started it, and, which included sending out a welcome packet, and I had Rhea giving me names on a regular basis, and then I sort of lost track of the whole thing for the last, I say 6 months, it's probably longer. But during that time, we did hold 2 new neighbor events, which I think we had the first time 3 people came, and the second time maybe 4? Maybe 4. So I have to say that I became apathetic and didn't know what to do, really next, what to do. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Rhea, when she gets the names, does send out a packet.
I do not,
Okay,
because I usually don't have a good address,
see,
and I don't have phone number, and I don't have an email.
so we just don't get that information.
Right.
So it's very hard unless the people come into the office. The ideal situation, and I don't know, you only get it when the county lets you know?
I either get a closing statement from a title company,
Uh-huh.
or I get or if, barring that, I go on the website, the tax assessment website once a month or so, because, you see the property transfers there. Though, those are easy to miss if you don't time it just right.
So there's
and
no
on,
good, there's no,
Well, it is odd though, to me, that, because it seems like, at the time that the settlement takes place on the property,
but- Mhm.
because we are governed by a homeowners association that has mandatory fees and so on, that they would be selling up, because that's, those types of things get prorated. So like when we bought our house, well, the buyer, or sellers had already paid dollars, and so we had to reimburse them for the period, so there's usually an account. I'm just surprised that they don't routinely contact you as part of settlement.
They do contact me when there's gonna be a closing.
Uh-huh.
That's the whole,
Yeah,
that is the.
Right, for the money
routine, what
part.
have you,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they wanna know if the account is
Uh-huh.
current.
but you don't get benefit
But I don't-
notification.
get, you know, information at that point. I send them information. It isn't that there isn't an address on the title or on the SDAM, the tax assessment website. It's that you don't know necessarily if that address is going to be their new mailing address,
Right.
or are they going to have a PO box? Is this a property they purchased to rent as rental
Right.
income property?
Mhm.
You know, I certainly could start sending out welcome packages to the best address I can,
Well, I mean,
Determine.
that's the type of information
but
that,
it's like $4 or $5 each time to send
Right,
one of those.
right.
It's not a,
yeah.
you know, just a stamp.
Yeah, Olivia, I agree with you because I'm in the process of selling my house, and I'm selling it myself, and I followed all the real estate, because it's the second one I've done now, and one of the things is, we have a homeowners, and there's a form to fill out, because the title company is definitely going to, and the people have asked me, which is in the homeowners, and I'm surprised about this, that people don't ask you for the bylaws and all the stuff.
Sometimes they do, and when I respond by email, if
Yeah.
they haven't requested it, I always say, all corporate documents can be found on the website.
Right,
I mean, I give them that information.
right.
Yeah,
Very,
but
very
it's
Maryland is
really-
very strange as compared to Virginia, for example, and most places like DC, because when you buy a condo or into a homeowners association, you have,
This is
because
what
you're
we-
buying into this whole thing,
Right,
you're supposed to be given the information,
you're supposed to be given.
and then you have a certain period of time to review it, and then if you,
Right.
In order
if
If
you
to,
have
that
any
happens in
concerns,
Mills, you don't like it.
you can cancel the
Right, and
contract.
that's the way.
But
it
in
came.
Maryland, it's very,
No, in Heritage
unstructured.
Harbor, it was very much like that.
yeah,
But this is not that same type of home, it's not quite as rigid as some of the homeowners.
yeah, but see, in Virginia, for example, there is a list, there's 14 points, and you have to get a book, or not a book,
Right.
but you have to get a package that has every type of information that's required.
Right.
By law, they have to give it to you, and then, they have, you know, how much the association can charge for the packet of information.
Right,
And Maryland, none of that.
well,
we've
it
actually had
depends.
sales where people didn't even know there was one.
Right.
Oh, well, mine was one of them, you know, because the listing agent said,
No, probably.
that there was no home, and they never said there was a homeowner association, they said, no, how was that? I mean,
Right.
Right.
and so actually, at the very last minute, our loan documents had to be changed, because there actually is a little $15 a month or whatever it is that we all pay, and our loan documents had to be changed, it could have delayed some, but anyway, all I'm saying is that Maryland, you're absolutely right, Maryland is not as
It depends, yeah, it
structured.
really depends though on the community too, because
I
well,
guess so.
Annapolis, I have to tell you, they were rigid
Yeah.
about homeowners.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the whole
well,
thing that you just
but-
said.
It's a state law thing, and
But
you
it's
know
a
what,
state
they
law.
just get away with ignoring it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really less, it really is less structured in Maryland. But what I was gonna say though is that, of course, anybody can go into the tax records and see. But it's a very easy thing for me to do, because the tax records are incorporated into our multiple listings or,
Right.
but it gets updated, there's always a delay.
There's a delay,
And,
and
but
even
I-
now when I check it, I go back several months each time.
It's very
Because
difficult.
it gets delayed.
And if we did have more stringent homeowners, I know that where I lived before, they knew exactly who was coming in.
Absolutely,
Because they had to fill out all this paperwork
sure.
to get the homeowner documentation.
Mhm.
And therefore you had all the information.
Right.
But that doesn't happen.
Right.
So,
It's different, it's
So-
tougher here for,
But see, we're not in the driver's seat on that.
Mhm.
It's not really the homeowners association that drives that.
it's
It's
the
the
state law.
settlement company.
Oh,
right.
And, well, actually, this,
The title company?
the realtor, really.
no, we don't have control over
Isn't there a
that.
law that the realtor is supposed to, no?
No, it's a,
How's the law
the
read?
contract.
I know there's a Maryland state law, but
Yeah, but the contract reads that you are to get this information, and you have this period of time to review it, and you can
Well, the
cancel the
contract
contract.
in Maryland.
But it's not the realtor's job to provide the information.
No,
It's
but there's
the-
a contract in Maryland that you have to check to say, is
It's
there
a
a
seller's-
homeowners
it's a seller's
association?
job.
And I do, yes.
I know, and see,
right.
that's what's so weird about it. It becomes the seller's and the buyer's job to do this stuff,
Right,
which in Virginia and DC, for example, I don't know how many other states, it is the homeowners association.
oh,
Is
okay.
absolutely required to provide the information.
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
but if you don't know about it,
Yeah.
Well, you
No,
know,
no, well, no, I mean, I'm sorry, the seller has to get it and provide it, but the homeowners
Right.
association has. So, in other words, in other
It's like
places,
that,
it's
too.
much more structured that we would be involved and we would
Right.
know. And
It's, I think it is
Okay.
that way here too, it's just
It
for
is.
some reason,
the-
here
it-
in Coward County, it's ignored.
It's, yeah, I'm
Bizarre.
telling you, in Anne Arundel
It
County,
could be
it's,
the answer.
it's not ignored in Anne Arundel County. It's part of the deal. And all that, you pay for it, you have the whole review, all that.
Mhm.
I really believe it's supposed to be like that here.
And of course, I copied the Anne Arundel sales contract. So therefore, I had it as part of the package for
Mhm.
Anne Arundel. So if I
Right.
had done Calvert, I might
Right.
not have known about it. Anyway, back to the fact that it's very hard to get
It's very hard
the
to,
information.
well, I guess I'd be happy to help with that. Because I can just have a standing search for every time a property sells
That would be wonderful.
here. Well, those are properties that are listed, like yours wouldn't show up
No,
in my multiple listings.
Right, exactly.
Unless you listed it with,
well, I mean, so that's one hurdle, but we were dealing with it, and then it sort of, because it was me, I kind of fell through the cracks on that. But I guess Dennis and I reviewed this, and he felt that the letter that Maria sent out, and we updated that letter, but he felt that the DPPOA should be the contact. It shouldn't have a person's name because like I'm leaving and
Right.
people change. So I don't know what I just review the letter with you and find out. Also, another suggestion was rather than do it on this basis of like we were doing it weekly or, it's like every few months try to gather as many names as possible and do it before a general meeting. And then all those new people, the welcoming committee could follow up either with another letter reminding them to attend the general meeting, some kind of positive, get to know your neighbor kind of thing. These are just suggestions. I'm not gonna be here, so I don't know who's gonna take this over. That's why I wrote it all up, actually. And one of the things that really works and where I'm moving now and worked in Heritage Harbor, and it can open a can of worms, and I know you've discussed it before, is setting up an interactive blog or part of the website that's only open to residents. So, but of course, it can become a platform and a gripe session for some people. But the one that was in my community in Washington, it's great because people give recommendations to handy. I mean, they say, oh, I use so-and-so, or there's an issue, like, I mean, okay, let's say raccoons or coyotes or whatever. And it's a kind of interactive, flowing thing. And because of the way the world right now, with people not having any time for meetings and everything else, it kind of keeps people talking to each other. So that was a suggestion of, I don't know, you know, we have to get somebody who is a guru sort of to do that.
well, it's pretty easy to set up a listserv on, Yahoo and all that, but it gets to be, I mean, there's a very active one in Scientist Cliffs. and-
Somebody has to be the administrator.
That's right, you need an administrator.
And that is where you get into the problem.
And you have to have some rules and regulations.
Yeah, and then but even
Then
then it can
It's
get
not in
pretty.
hand in mind too, so.
Not everybody plays nice in the same box.
Yeah, not everybody plays nice, and I've always found that it winds up being like 10 people who are just emailing each
Well, we
other.
know exactly who those will be.
Yeah.
So anyway, I threw that in there.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not a bad idea, because it is a good way to
Yeah,
get
maybe we should
information.
let's think about it, we'll talk about it again.
Okay,
Again, okay.
All right.
I don't want to take all night on this, so I
Okay.
just basically,
We have a Facebook page.
we would really,
That's true.
one of the things that Dennis and I both felt is that, and maybe Rhea can give us an idea, or the county, what the demographics of our community are. What are the ages? What are the, who are we dealing with? Do we know?
I have the last census
Okay.
demographics for
Okay.
that. I got that one.
It's not that old.
No, it's not, well,
About
2010,
5 years old.
I guess.
I would just caution you on that particular point. I think the homeowners association would want to consult the fair housing laws and just make sure that you're not doing anything for or against, or,
Oh,
anything
We would
that
just,
could
Be
construed as discriminating against a protected class, and there are very many of them.
Yeah, well, we were just trying to get an idea of what people want in the community.
Yeah, no, I understand the conversation, it's just,
Okay,
I'll tell you what, I mean, in real estate, ooh, that's the third rail, and, you know, a homeowners association is, you know, I think governed by real estate law, so
Right.
just be careful
But
about
it's a
fair,
whole act.
yeah,
real
fair,
estate.
fair housing laws.
yeah, well, we were just
Very
thinking for
sensitive subject.
general information, just
Yeah.
to say, most of our people older, younger, family, you know,
See,
so.
right there, you've already,
Yeah.
familial
Yeah.
status,
Well,
age,
it's, the problem that we have is we have a very diverse
Protected classes.
community.
yeah.
We don't know what people need. It's, and because we're all over the board economically, age-wise, everything, it's hard to get a kind of a cohesive group and try to get a plan together. So the conclusion was basically, the things that really seem to work are Drum Point Day, and the dumpster is very popular.
Dumpster?
Oh, yeah, the community cleanup day, that's what I.
They come from all over the county.
And then,
Great, great. See, and I was gonna try to use that as a kind of a time
Yeah.
to get to talk to people too, to
Mhm.
find out with a little like 4 questions, like, what's the best time for you to come to a meeting? That kind of, those kind of
Yeah,
questions.
this is a really good idea. I think this has got more traction for me anyway. We could set up a little table with some coffee and
Mm-hmm.
maybe water and drinks or whatever and have a little questionnaire. Said, look,
Don't have to.
we'll help you unload your trash, but fill this out.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, I was gonna walk around like a
You
little
could do
survey.
you could
thing,
do
know,
the
like
survey on
4
your iPad,
A lot of
and then
people
the
show up.
information goes right in.
It's
Yeah,
amazing how many people show up.
Just four
Yeah.
questions. We've come up with some really good questions that would really help us meet their needs.
Mhm.
Would they prefer Thursday nights? Would they prefer a different time? You know, that just kind of things, we'll come up with some stuff and get them then. And the other thing would be to add a shredding.
Shredding, I would love to
Shredding,
have a
That's a
shredding.
good idea.
yeah.
Shredding it.
Along with the dumpster.
Yeah.
Or a different day. I
Have room
don't,
for that in the lot?
you want both in
I
the
don't know,
same,
I don't know.
same day, different day, kept to 2 different groups? I don't know.
I would just caution with regard to composing the questions that
Right.
you're going to ask. Look at the bylaws and make sure you're not asking something that would actually have to require a bylaws change.
Okay, so
Like I don't know, meetings, they have to be in certain times.
certain times, but
Whatever.
they don't have to be like every Wednesday or Thursday.
Well, no, I was thinking more in terms of the general membership meeting.
Right, that's what I'm thinking of
Okay.
general membership.
Right.
I think it only says every 3 months.
I'm not sure, but I'm just saying,
Okay,
it
well,
makes me think, look at
it's
the
just something,
bylaws. and
I'm
come up with
willing to
questions.
work with someone on that before I leave.
Mhm.
I mean, so that we could just have something, just simple, just kind of with the community, that we're listening to them, right, that kind of thing. And, basically, we decided that it seems that as long as the roads are in good shape throughout the year and passable in winter, there may not be more involvement desired by the community at this point. However, the main objective remains to increase attendance at membership meetings and interest in the community. How do we do this is the unanswered question. And, you know, since we do not have the staff to personally contact via phone or house visit like a welcome wagon type thing, it remains a big challenge. So, I'm open for suggestions, and I don't know how you're gonna handle it from this point forward, so, yeah, that's it.
All right, well, thank you. Any other comments or questions about the welcoming committee report?
You know, I'll work with you on
Okay,
that, as long as you have wine.
always have one.
Excellent.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That might be one of the questions, when you come to general membership,
serve
if we have
wine.
wine. Are we allowed to do that?
We have Irish coffee on the Saturday morning.
As long as you don't bill them for it, it's fine.
Oh, that might, yeah, see?
Bloody Marys.
Well, we
Irish
may-
coffee, mimosas.
Mimosa.
Hey, we may put that on, what
Shot of
type of libation? will
Yeah,
it
that's
take?
the question. Would you rather have Bloody Marys,
Is it
mimosas?
Join our Alcoholics Anonymous.
You're losing control of me.
We're all out of order, no. Okay, so you guys are gonna work on that.
Yeah,
Good. All right, next on the agenda is old business. Does anybody have any old business to bring to the discussion? No? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to new business. And we have the issue of the nominating committee that has to be formed or seated as a result. I mean, I guess we're gonna start the process at the Saturday general membership meeting. So we're gonna, at the general membership meeting, what we'll do is ask for volunteers. And if there are any,
Excuse me.
if there are any, then we can have a motion to form the committee and vote on it, and they'll go forward with their business. Of course, there's always the possibility that we don't have any volunteers. So does anybody happen to know of anybody who, now, the welcoming committee is supposed to be made up of non-board members, right?
Nominating committee.
I'm sorry, the nominating committee is
That's
supposed to be
correct.
made up of the,
That's correct. It's actually very well structured. There's a list of instructions to how to go about conducting the committee. But yes, no, they're not
Oh.
supposed to be any board members on it.
what are the instructions, is that?
Previous-
In the board,
Can
is that
we
the
ask,
bylaws?
can we ask the previous nominating committee to,
Yeah, we did that,
and they've declined?
yeah, unfortunately.
What about Dwayne Clayton?
Give them a call. You ready to do that?
How many people need to be on the nominating
Note to self. Call Dwayne.
Preferably three,
committee?
but,
I'm gonna be gone. I can't do that. I'm out of here.
I'll call him.
Why don't you give him a call? Tell him Gary's leaving town, so
How long are you gone for?
a week.
When are you leaving?
In the morning, first thing.
tomorrow?
After I take the flag down.
Wow.
Tomorrow's Pearl Harbor Day.
Is Peter going to raise it?
Peter's gonna put that in. Yes, leaving as soon as I get my act together and get out of here. Don't have a specific time.
Okay.
Probably by 10, I would think.
First thing
For
in
me,
the
that's,
morning.
that's a crack of dawn from here.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, all right, well, anyway, so the nominating committee is something that we need to get going on Saturday. We'll ask for volunteers and you know, it's potentially something we could actually form and seat them with a motion and all that. And the general membership that's gonna be there on Saturday would vote to.
Do we need a quorum to vote for that?
Well, we are going to have a quorum because at the last general membership meeting, we didn't have a meeting and we didn't have a quorum, but the members present voted to have a quorum.
Yeah.
That there would be a quorum at the
This is-
next meeting.
Yeah,
So on Saturday, we'll have a quorum whether we have a quorum or
I got you.
not. And that's that about the nominating committee. I don't know. I guess if you have any ideas
If you know
about that.
anybody, tell him, come to the.
Who's gonna be at the
general
meeting on Saturday? So Paul's gonna be there, everybody, okay. And you won't be there, and Rhea will be there,
I'll be,
sitting next to me.
Tony will be there.
Tony will be there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any of your spouses could,
yeah, this is true.
Could be up there, I think.
You gotta know somebody in the community in order to be nominated.
Yeah,
Well, you do get a list of contacts
Yeah.
or, you know, property owners. And if you don't mind cold calling people you don't know.
you have to call.
we have,
Oh, you
Yeah.
we're going to have 4 openings.
We're
And
gonna have four 'cause
openings?
with Paula. 'Cause there's,
Oh, I thought there were three.
I'm one of the openings. I'm going to run again, so we need
oh, so there's,
3 more.
so that's good. We have one,
We have a candidate, at least. We may not have anybody on the committee, but we have a candidate.
Being you mean, or somebody
You,
else?
okay.
Oh, I thought you meant somebody else.
Yeah, I'm gonna run
so
again.
we still need 3 more though. Nominees. So that's the next problem after we get the,
And I think
nominating
Peter,
committee
Peter is out there being
nominees.
pushing right now
for nominees.
for,
Committee.
for candidates.
The candidates.
Or if they,
Candidates for the
or I
role.
suggest that if he speaks to people and they don't want to be a candidate, would they be willing to be on the nominee committee?
All right,
So,
I'll call Peter and discuss it with him.
If he's already beating the bushes, can you leave the nominee?
He's done that so many times, you know.
Oh, he does, okay, all right.
Yeah, remember we asked him, we talked about it last board meeting.
he's always willing to help people.
Okay, well
He
then,
didn't say no, though. He didn't say no, so he might.
All right, well, yeah, he didn't say no. He made sort of a funny noise, like he was fainting. So we don't want to. All right, well, sort of next point under new business is the general membership meeting, which of course is Saturday. And the agenda for the meeting is posted on the website, and it's kind of pretty, generic, pretty bare bones, basic. So the only real substance there's the approval of the minutes, which will actually be the June minutes, because there are no minutes from the last meeting.
Because it wasn't a meeting.
Exactly.
Okay.
This, you're way ahead of me. This is,
No.
I've learned tonight.
No.
So there's that, and then, nominating committee. Now, I don't know if anyone wants to plan on giving a committee report.
I would probably talk about road stuff,
Okay,
just general information. It's just kind of like what we talked about tonight
Yeah.
in some ways.
It's
Because it's always a good idea.
traditional, given.
do you want to give just a,
Maybe I can come by and go see what documents are gonna be on the table.
If you're talking
It's
with-
easier to talk from those
absolutely.
documents.
So we'll have all the budget stuff on the, it'll.
You
we'll
can talk
be
to
here.
expenditures today, stuff like that.
You can come tomorrow if you have time.
Yep, I'll be.
Talk about collections and expenditures, that's basically all it is.
All right, and, so let's
Give me
see.
a call first.
And so as far as committee, well, Peter will be there, so he may want to give a safety committee report possibly.
Well, you said you were gonna talk to him next time.
Yeah. Well, I was going to talk to him about the nominating committee, but also see if he wants to give,
I mean, I can ask people if they'd like to be on the welcoming committee. But
Yeah.
we're looking for more volunteers, and that's all, just basically say,
okay.
to brainstorm.
Well, I think it'd be nice for you to talk about the new library, the free library.
Oh, the free library, yes.
Because that was,
That's a good idea.
that's
It's been
been
very
quite,
good.
it's actually
Has
been
it?
installed since the September meeting, right?
Right, when did it get installed, because I've been
I
away
bought the
so
check
much.
maybe 6 weeks ago.
See, I've been completely,
6, 8 months.
I know, you've been.
It's getting traffic.
But it'd be
Oh,
nice
it is,
for you
okay.
to talk about
Okay.
that, because that's really,
that was
major
Amy's
accomplishment
idea,
of your
but that will actually,
administration. Oh,
that was
it's
Amy's,
amazing.
yeah.
Well, then you
was
track
idea.
down the builder. and-
Right,
Well, you made it
we'll give
happen.
her some credit for that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but that'll be a good thing to report on.
Okay, sure.
And
I'll
it's
be
a
happy
nice
to do
thing
that.
too, it's an accomplishment. So, okay, well, anyway, so everybody's on deck. The more you guys talk, the less I have to do.
I see what you're
I
doing.
like that, I like it. Okay, so, all right, so, anything else that we need to know about the
meeting.
meeting? Like,
I'll be there at 9 to start setting up and get the copy.
so people sign in and all that
People-
stuff, right?
right,
And, but I guess this time we don't really, the head count isn't as important as it is when we.
It's not, although I always note it in the minutes of that meeting, so.
Yeah,
It's always nice when you get a quorum legitimately.
This is a tough time of year.
and then, and
It's
then,
legitimate regardless.
Well, you know what I mean. I don't mean
It's
legitimately, I mean
heartwarming.
the correct way. I mean
The standard way.
There you go, good word, standard.
Traditional.
so the,
Another one?
and the meetings, I mean, the meeting minutes from June, those are on the website already?
No, we don't put them on the website until they're approved,
So
but
that's-
there will be
They'll be
copies.
printed
So
of
there'll be
it.
copies there.
And actually, there were copies there in September, so.
Right,
People already.
I don't even remember the meeting.
okay, all right, well, so I guess we'll wing it.
It'll be
That's the
fun.
way we run every meeting.
Okay, so we need to schedule our next Board of Directors meeting, and, my calendar and my phone, but
January, well, here we go.
it would be January, what is it, the second Tuesday of the?
Calendar,
Second Tuesday.
Usually the second Tuesday?
January 2nd Tuesday is the 10th.
Is it the first Tuesday?
I don't know, there's the first Tuesday this week.
Oh, this is the
This one.
first Tuesday.
But didn't we change it back?
We did, but I just,
The
you
The
did
third
the same,
might
I
be a
don't,
little
it
tough
doesn't matter.
because that's the
Yeah.
day after a holiday.
Yeah, so I
So
think,
let's,
I agree,
yeah, let's
I'm
make
with
it
that,
January
that sounds
10th.
right to me.
So the-
Okay, so our
Tenth.
next meeting will be January 10th. 7 o'clock. And again, I'll see if any further public comment. No, seeing none, no
Move to adjourn.
attendees. Hmm?
Move to adjourn.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
A second.
Okay, all in favor of motion to adjourn our meeting?
Aye.
Say aye. Aye.
Yahoo!